Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Please say hi in the comment section and let me know where you are joining me from. My name is Flora Basie. I am a digital accessibility analyst, expert, and also founder at Innovators. Well, Innovators is an incredible company that is helping businesses, organizations, and individual professionals with accessibility coaching, training, as well as auditing. Now, today I want to talk to you about going from chaos to success by mastering digital accessibility. If you're joining me at any time, just say hello in the comment section. I see Shiri. Hi, Shiri. She said just hello. Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Please, I want this session to be engaging, so do not feel shy at any point in time. There's no wrong answer. I might actually ask you a couple of questions, but again, there's no wrong answer. I just want us selfishly to get to engage together, right? And also, my coach, who is a successful entrepreneur, always said, when you have your hands on, right, and you engage, you retain properly information, and you retain that information for a longer time. I don't know if you are like me, but I totally agree with this statement. Are you a person who love learning by practicing? If yes, say yes in the comment section. I just want to see if you guys are going to be engaged, because I am ready to talk a lot about how we can remove confusion, we can remove chaos, and we can create success the easy way. All right, let's talk about the first element that usually create chaos in companies. The first element is the lack of understanding of the user need, or the lack of understanding of the target audience, right? In this particular case, since the company wants to succeed in digital accessibility, the audience definitely are going to be people with disabilities. Do you understand this target market? Well, to put it simple, let me go with an illustration. Hi. Oh, I see Miley's from Austin, Texas. Oh, I love Austin, Texas. I used to live in Austin, Miley. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. This is where, when I was supporting the company Visa Inc., which is a big financial company. So happy you're here, Miley. And yes, please, people, as you are joining me, just say hi in the comment section. I may be able to answer directly here live with you, or I might go to the comment later on to just address some of the questions you are asking. But please, this is a safe place. I'm your friend, and hopefully you are my friend too. We can talk, we can share, and there is no stopper. Okay, perfect. Oh, I see Leah. Leah also said hi. Hi, Leah. From Switzerland. Yes, we are going global. Yes, Leah. So happy to have you here as well. Now, as I was saying, the first element that usually create confusion within companies, the lack of understanding of the audience of people with disabilities. And then let me just give you an illustration or ask you a question. I see Joanna is also here. Yes, she's in the house. She said she was going to join, and she has joined. Thank you, Joanna. Hi, I'm so happy to see you as well. Okay, perfect. So the first question I have for you, and please participate, right? Let's get engaging. Let's just, get that information in there. Simple question. Have you ever hosted an event before? It could be professional, like maybe it's a conference, or maybe it's just a meeting, or maybe it's a get together. Let me know in the comment. Have you ever hosted a conference or an event before in your company, in the workplace? If yes, say yes, even. Or have you ever hosted a personal event before? Right? It could be a birthday party, it could be a wedding, it could be a boy only or man only party. It could be, a woman or girl only party. It could be kids party. Have you ever hosted or participated or contributed to the creation of an event? If yes, put yes event in the comment section. Just a live event. Okay, perfect. I see Joanna said just a live event on LinkedIn. Shiri said yes, she did one before. Great. Awesome. Okay. That is incredible. That is good. Because my next question will be, how important do you feel that knowing the audience, knowing the attendees will be for the event that you have hosted, right? On the scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to understand the audience you are talking to or the audience that you are entertaining? For me personally, the audience is everything. The people attending are everything, right? And I see Miley said also, yes, yes, Miley. So, on the scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to know who is coming to the event? For me, it's a 10. I don't know. For you, what is it? Drop those numbers in the comment section. I really want to know, because I think that if we are creating a party for kids, right, and we are inviting adults in that party, can you see that this might create a little bit of conflict here? I mean, I know many adults who will say that, hey, listen, in my heart, I feel like a child. But I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't love to go play with, I don't know, what. There's a lot of little things out there. I remember last time I went to I think a Stitch party. Somebody also had a Little Mermaid party. Like, as an adult, that's cute. But why did you invited me to this little party? Like, it's a child, and there's no alcohol. There's nothing there. I'm telling you, understanding the audience is everything. Understanding the people coming to the party, to the event is everything, because it will influence, the theme of, or even the topic, or even the budget, or even the activity within the event, right? And I see a lot of you say, yes, it's a 10, it's a 10. You are so right. Organizations need to know that the audience is the number one. So understanding people with disabilities and their need to request your services, to ask for your product is number one. I know many organizations will say, but Flora, we already have the WCAG guideline that we have to follow, right? Or we have some acts, right? We have the AODA, for example, in Ontario, Canada, where it's the Accessibility for Ontarian with a Disability Act. We have the ADA. We have so many acts, even in Europe and UK, or even in Asia. There is a lot of laws and regulation that are helping organizations to make sure that their product and services are inclusive and accessible. But this is what I've noticed. I've noticed that organizations are using some of those regulations, some of those guidelines as a check mark. They just want to check and leave it. And sometimes this check do not really serve fully some people with a disability. If you have noticed that same situation before, say, yes, Flora, I agree, yes, because that's the experience I've seen. When I speak with organizations, they sometimes just want to check the box. And while it's good, it's a good place to start, I think that we need to remember that number one, again, number one, and you all have put 10 in the comment section. Number one, target is the audience. Number one target is the people with a disability. The guidelines, the acts, they are meant to support serving people with disabilities. So it shouldn't be you know, the guidelines and the acts, number one being the priority before the people. No, it should be the reverse. People first. Please, if you agree with me, just put people first in the comment section. I'm pretty sure that we are all understanding really people will help a lot. Now, here is what I saw happening, which create also chaos. I've seen a lot of organization or leaders or business owners telling me, Flora, we do not have any client with a disability. Wow. How can you tell? How can you tell that a client coming to your online presence, your website, your content may not have a disability? That's almost impossible. There are a lot of people using a screen reader to navigate the website, and screen reader usually, from what I know, are not necessarily trackable on the website, right? There are people with color blindness, there are people with dyslexia, and there are so many more people with a disability that are shopping online, and they love shopping, by the way. So really, the number one thing, what is the solution here? Really, the solution when it comes to understanding the need of people with disabilities can have different shape and form. The first solution is really to try to listen, to understand, and to talk with people with disabilities. As you communicate with people with disabilities, you will have a better understanding of what they need or what is not working. And to do so, guess what? You may have already a few people with a disability in your company who can champion and help you in that initiative. You may not have some people with disabilities in your company who want to champion, because again, not everyone with a disability want to be put up front and be, the champion. Not everyone want to do that. And that's okay. If some people are introverted or feel like this is not their calling, you can't force them. I will never force people to do what they don't want. So don't force them. You have solution number two. Solution number two is probably to look into your ERG, like the employee resource group, if you have any within your organization, that probably speak about accessibility or disability. Maybe you can gather some champion over there and have a better understanding. The next one that you can use and leverage for better understanding of people with disability could be also to look outside for influencers with a disability. Or you can even look for influencers that are just advocating for people with disabilities. Although they may not have a disability, they might have a great network and they can refer you to incredible people, or they can bring also some awareness to your team. So think about it. I know a lot of incredible influencers here on LinkedIn and also on Facebook, on TikTok. Like, they are everywhere. They are ready to come and give you great insight, great feedback. So leverage that. That's important. I see Mike just said something. That sounds like it excludes permanent and temporary disabilities. Ooh, yes. So a person has never broken a bone or carried too much to open a door, has never occurred at a business. Ooh, that's a good question, Miles. That is a good question. It is true that most of the time when people think that, yes, there are temporary disabilities, and there are also the fact that people are aging, and with aging, you might lose some abilities to see, to hear, to touch, or so much more. That is a very good point. So please, companies, do not think that people with disabilities are not coming to your door. They are coming, okay? That's a very good point. Now that we understand that there are many ways to connect with people with disabilities, influencer could be one of them. Like I said, you can look for champion within your organization. You can also partner with community of people with disabilities. I mean, the list can be longer. If I keep on continuing, I'm gonna take the whole hour or probably 30 minutes or maybe more. Okay, let's move on. I see Joanna also said something. She said that especially important for older adults. Yes, people 45 years old and up might lose the ability, right? Some abilities. Like for me, for example, well, I'm not going to tell you my age, but yes, let's just say that I'm 40 and up. No, I actually just turned 40. So I noticed that my vision is not as good, but I'm still in denial right now. I don't want to wear eyeglasses, although I think it's cute, but for some reason I'm like, it's not probably that. It's probably because I put on a little bit of weight, so my vision is blurry. I need to lose a little bit of weight and it should be fine. But no, to your point, Joanna, yes, people who are aging are also losing sometimes the ability. I know, right? Shouldn't be disclosing that kind of information in here, but that's okay. So let's talk about number two. The point number two is really around understanding, or I will say, the number two is really understanding the scope. Now that we know, okay, understanding the audience to help champion accessibility within the organization is the best thing to do. Yes, we know that now. We also know that Flora said people first and then the rest later on, right? That's good as well. So now let's talk about scope, right? As now that organizations and leaders are like, yes, we want accessibility, we want this, but the scope look like an elephant. I don't know about you, but I've seen my fair share of elephant when it comes to accessibility initiatives in the workplace, in organization. Please write elephant if you have ever been in a situation where you can see that the scope is so big for the amount of time that is given to produce the result. As an entrepreneur myself, I've been approached by incredible organization, and this is the list they give me. They're like, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that, we want it. And then the scope is so large, the budget is so small, and the time frame is also small. How do you work with that, right? A realistic scope can kill your initiatives around accessibility. Please, if you are hearing me and you resonate with that, please elephant, please write elephant in the comment section because that is so true. Having a big scope or having an incredible scope for accessibility is wonderful, but you have to remember to work with the scope that is manageable. And we also have sometimes scope creep, right? Where you start with a scope, but you're noticing that, oh no, by the way, we need to add this. Oh, we didn't think about this. Oh, something just happened. Let's add that to the bucket. And like your elephant is like just blowing up. Like first of all, you couldn't even eat it at first, but now it's even bigger. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? I see Navisha said elephant. Yes, Navisha. Please, Navisha is not alone. So, right, elephant. Have you ever been asked to handle, right, a project or testing or audit or supporting a team? Or maybe you are the leader, but you know that this initiative is big, right? So we need to think about scoping, and a solution to for that is really to manage things one step at a time. As I will say, if you want to eat really an elephant, you need to eat that elephant one piece at a time. I don't know about you. I know like some snakes can eat like big animal that is actually even bigger than their own weight. I don't think that organizations are snakes. Well, maybe some. I don't know. I don't think so. I see Lisa also said elephant. Yes, Lisa. I see Shiri also said elephant. Yes, Shiri. We have to be honest. Let's just call it how it is. Accessibility, it's a journey. So thinking that you are even gonna just finish that elephant and be like, oh, finally I did it. No, accessibility is always improving because we have as human beings, we have needs that are always evolving. We have technology that are always evolving. So thinking that we will finish the work of accessibility within the organization, it's a false belief. Right now, it's a false belief. So, yes, it's a journey. Okay, it's not a goal that will stop, but we do need milestone. We do need goals. We do need certain things in place in order to have success. And this is where I'm challenging also some of the leaders by asking them, what does success look like? And if you're telling me we want to be 100% accessible by a certain date, okay, I'm not gonna laugh. But you might want to rethink what success means to you. Success is definitely not a done and forget about it. Success could be, here is what we have been able to accomplish. Here are the little pillars that we have in the organization. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Here's the other pillars that we put in the organization to make sure that every time there is a new project, this is how it's handled. Anytime we have a new person jumping and supporting the company, these are the things that they might have to have in terms of the skill or in terms of some of the tools that they might need to handle some of those projects. I hope I'm making sense. And please put sense in the comment. I just want to make sure that we're still following and I'm not losing you guys. If that makes sense to you, just put sense in the comment section. But truly, scope need to be handled one phase at a time. Maybe you have a big project. Maybe you will have to break down that project into phases. And also prior, prioritizing that phases is super important. Trying to handle phases that are not critical at the beginning might not help you see the amount of impact you have within the organization, but prioritizing will help you because then you know that you are actually working with the urgent, the critical, and you're also allowing time for the team not to be feeling overwhelmed, right? Because if you have the wrong scope, will make your team feel overwhelmed. If you're noticing, for example, within your organization, thank you, Shiri. I see Shiri just put sense. Thank you. I'm not the only one. Okay, good. If you are noticing within your organization that people are now taking a lot of time out of, it's because they're overwhelmed or they're feeling sick or they like they burned out. You don't want that. So having a realistic scope can actually push a lot of talent to take time off or even push some of those talent to go look for a job elsewhere. You have already invested in these people to come in and support. Do not burn them out. Okay. The other thing that I see also happening a lot is creating delay or missing deadline. There's so much negativity that can come from having an unrealistic scope or having a scope creep. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the third point that I see happening often when it comes to chaos within the organization is all about inadequate resources. Indeed, we're talking about budget, we're talking about time, and we are talking about talent within the organization, right? When you do not allocate properly the budget, of course, it doesn't matter how brilliant the idea is, the inadequate use of budget might kill the project very quickly. If we're looking at time as well, if you are not really putting in place good timing around your initiatives for accessibility, guess what? This is also gonna it's gonna go down. Let's just call it that way. It's just gonna go down. I've seen many situations where businesses have, for example, an agile approach or maybe a waterfall approach. It doesn't really matter what approach they have, but they did not budget or they did not take in consideration accessibility in in the project cycle, right? And then they realize that, wait a minute, we get to the end, we didn't think about accessibility. Now they have to go back to fix some of the thing that they should have probably taken in consideration at the very beginning, right? It's like creating or building a house and then realizing, oh my goodness, we forgot to put a kitchen in the house, right? Or we forgot to put a bathroom in the house. Now what do we do? Should we just go and break the wall and trying to figure out how to put a kitchen in or a bathroom in? Or should we create something external for people to use as a kitchen or bathroom? Well, let me tell you the truth. If you're doing that, the second option, you are going to be worse than African people. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. Yes, in Africa, we used to not have, for example, the kitchen in a house or the bathroom in a house. It's external. Now, with the world moving in a very convenient way, I don't think that anyone wants to have a kitchen outside or the bathroom outside. No, actually, people even want to have a master bathroom, right? Convenience, right? So I love that. I see Lisa has shared something. Lisa, I'm going to read your comment later on, but I see you said perfect sense. Yes, Lisa said perfect sense and she provided more information. Lisa, I promise you, I'm going to read that comment and respond to that very soon. I have about 2 minutes to wrap up and I want to make sure that I am sharing also what can be a solution for inadequate resources. I see Mile also, you said something technology and all digital spaces are always going to be changing and getting better, which is good. So accessibility should be included in the middle of the process. Yes, least Miles, I even will say it should be starting at the very beginning of the process on ideation. You can even ask people with disability to come on board and share just their thought. You do not need to finish a program or build something to have people feedback. Ask them. They are people who are using already things that are existing. They will give you feedback. They love giving you feedback. Trust me, I have tried that, and the person we work with was just incredible. So yes, definitely. So when it comes to adequate resources, definitely try to budget your time accordingly. Make sure that accessibility has time in, right? It's not like, oh, we're just gonna throw it somewhere and figure out. No, because when people are creating or building, for example, a product, well, it will go to an accessibility tester. That will take time, right? It will go back to the person to fix the problem. They might do a good job, they might not do a good job, it will go back again. So that back and forth also create time. And if the person who is supposed to fix the problem is not knowledgeable in accessibility, guess what? You're going to have a lot of back and forth. Okay, so keep that in mind. Accessibility takes time also, but When you have resources who are not skilled in accessibility, that creates also a lot of big problem. Now, I'm not gonna trash people who are creating and building like website or digital product. That's not gonna be fair if I have to do that. It's not their fault. Whenever they have to create a lot of product and they might not have accessibility skill, sometimes there is no time allocated for them to do a proper training. And I want to encourage leaders, business owners, and anybody who is creating, building digital product that can serve audience and serve people who have a disability or who does not have a disability, who do not have a disability, to really invest in providing proper skills to talent that are working within the company. It is crucial. Like I usually tell people, my client, accessibility testers will find the problem after the fact, right? Even if it's in the middle of the build or whatever, or at the end of the build, they will always find those issues after the fact. And guess what? There are thousands of issues that they will have to look for. When you train properly your talents, or the people that are building, or the leaders that are creating the ideas, do you know how impactful that can be in the build of the product? It will reduce the amount of failures, it will reduce the amount of errors. And when, for example, an accessibility QA will send the information to the client or to the developer to fix, they will do it fast because they understand that it was a slight mistake. Okay, hopefully this help. We are on top of the hour of the time, but I'm super happy and I hope this was valuable. Please, if you liked it, press the like button, the love button if that was really good for you. I am really grateful that you were able to join me. And even if you're watching this as a recording, please feel free to drop your comment. I will always go back and see how to respond to those comments. Okay, so I'm wishing you all a wonderful Friday and I hope to see you in my next session. Bye bye, everyone, and thank you again. Please say thank you in the comment. And don't forget to splash that like button. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.